So,
Introduce it, please, Mark.
welcome everyone to the Premier Sports Solutions podcast. This is called Premier Talk, and today we're going to be discussing many things in the world of cars. Now, the first subject is, since we are a car dealership, do you two want to discuss what cars we've sold this week?
Yeah, can do. Yeah, we can do if that's where you want to go with it. That's fine.
Urban Defender.
Urban Defender, RS6.
Oh, hang on. What is, a new Range Rover Sport, which is going to be really interesting in a minute.
Yeah. Audi S3.
Yes, Saloon.
Saloon.
Hang on. Oh, I need to get up. I don't know. And a couple of 8 we've done this week, mate.
Yeah.
Okay,
Positive
so
week so far.
I'm hearing Audi and Land Rover, Range Rover.
Yeah.
Nothing electric, if that's where you're going.
No.
No, nothing electric.
Not that we're adverse to selling electric cars, which we'll also come on
I
to.
put an electric car in the story today, very cheap per month.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it?
So, what's your point about Range Rover? You said it's going to be interesting.
Do you know what I think's interesting about Range Rover? I'm going to go on a bit of a rant because everyone knows the situation with them, and it's been hard because obviously it's a car that we used to always supply in. Insurance has been a massive nightmare, and everyone just seems to go, "Oh, insurance! You can't get insured. You can't get insured. You can't get insured." Well, I can tell you this week that actually 2 Range Rover Sports have sold this week, but there's 3. So I spoke to another lad. They've all got insured. Now, they haven't just got insured, they've got insured. A very good local customer of mine, she got Bentley Bentayga, swapping for a Range Rover Sport of the same value. It was cheaper.
The Range Rover was
The
cheaper
Range
to
Rover
insure
was cheaper.
than
right?
the Bentayga.
The other guy's quote, who bought the car, completely normal. I feel like it's come down. Now, my point about this story is, one, I think, unless you're living in central London, no, garage, no gates and all that jazz, you're not going to get insured probably, and if you do, it's a bit expensive. But if you are living in an area which is, relatively affluent or whatever, middle of the road, whatever,
Out of a city centre.
out of a city, you're going to get insured and it's not going to blow you away. So don't avoid it anymore. Ask the question. The other point I'm going to make about it is I think the values have plummeted, which we all agree they have.
Correct.
But we're now in that little grey zone where the insurance is starting to go, hang on, this new car's not getting nicked. Let's start insuring them. So people are going to start to get insured, which means the market's going to get more buoyant on them, which means they're going to stop losing money, definitely, which I think they had hit the bottom. Yeah. And if anything, if they start flying out the door, people get insured, and they're going to get thinner on the ground, it might even pick up a bit. So now's a good time to buy one, in my opinion.
You might pick up a bargain because people think that you can't get insured.
Yeah. Exactly. If you want a Range Rover Sport or something which was 120 grand new, now 80, a year old, and you can get insured, buy it. You're not doing any money.
Amazing value for money.
An amazing value for a new product.
A lot of car.
That's my rant over with.
Yeah. So these 3 people that have bought Range Rovers this week,
Yeah.
one is
I've actually got an insurance broker there on number 4.
a regular person, as in they're not a footballer.
Absolutely.
And the other 2?
2 footballers, 1 regular person.
Okay, and they've all got insured.
All
Fine.
got insured, and I couldn't believe how much. We were used to seeing quotes at 25, 30 grand a year. You're talking like 6s and 5s and 7 or 9 with 2 other cars.
Back to a level of normality.
Yeah, but it's not.
Still a lot of money for most people, because most people, if they're not a footballer, will hear that and go, "Oh my God, 8 grand a year to insure a car? That's mental."
I think the girl, the local customer, good customer, hers is nothing like that because she's just. These other lads have got other cars, though. It's a multi-car policy.
But equally,
she's like 3.5 grand.
Yeah.
But equally, insurance across the board has gone up.
It has.
Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Everything has gone up.
Absolutely.
So,
you were looking at more, even if you were doing a renewal.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm hearing that people are renewing a variety of different things, whether it be an Urus or a G-Wagon or whatever it may be. Everyone's going, "Oh, bloody hell, the
I just
renewal's
think
coming
that
back."
storm is over. The thunderstorm's passed,
Yeah.
and I think it's now going to start. And if you want a Range Rover, it's a good time to buy one. In my opinion, I'm sure you love me for saying that, Range Rover.
yeah. Can we have a free car?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's interesting. Let's talk about something that isn't a Range Rover. The new G-Wagon, new G63 and G500 was launched last week. Haven't discussed it yet because there's an electric one being launched, I think next week or the week after. So we'll do a proper episode on that, the G as a whole. But
And how frank are we being here?
I mean, it hasn't really changed.
It's the same car, well, as far as we can see.
But visually, it hasn't
It
really
spins
changed.
on a 9-pence whoop.
No, well, that's the electric one. The normal one doesn't do that. The normal one, they've done a few bits and bobs. They've made it more refined, which it needed, because even though it's supposed to, you do have to slam the door and you get that noise, and that's part of it. It does drive like a truck. It is supposed to, but this new one's supposed to. It's supposed to be a little bit more refined.
But can I just say, the key thing for us is it's a new car in the market.
Yeah, listen, I think that could be great.
You know, is we sit here time after time going, there needs to be something fresh. There needs to be something new. This is something we know our customers like G-Wagon. This is going to be.
Always astounds me though. They're bringing out the G500 first, right, in June, July, and then they're following on with the G63.
Yeah.
Why do they do that?
Don't know.
I don't know.
Because they're just asking people to go and buy a
Crazy,
G500, but they're going to blow their nuts, and everyone's going to want the G63.
Yeah.
I would, if you're a customer, wait for the G63.
G63,
What do you think, Matt? Yeah.
Yeah, Matt agrees. That's good. We tried to get him on the podcast, but he wouldn't come on.
But I do think that, coupled with the Urus hybrid,
yes,
I think they're two exciting
Big
cars.
sellers.
That's a good point. I hadn't noted that down in my notes.
It's all up here.
God, you're like James, mate.
It's all up here. Yeah, sat in his mastermind chair.
Literally like being interviewed on Top Gear. Isn't he, Matt? He sounds like him.
Even the swivel chair and everything.
So he's not your
I'm
dad.
sat like Dr. Evil.
James May, your
He's got a
son.
white cat on him. Just yes. Or as hybrid. Yes.
But that is a very good point. When is that coming? That's later this year.
Yeah, so we've got a couple of cars
Coming
for
available.
customers that are orders, and I think
June, July?
No, it's the end of the year, mate.
Is it?
No, we've got.
I think it's being
not my
launched
car.
in June or July.
Right.
As in
I think it's
unveiled.
like last quarter of the year.
Yeah.
Right.
But that will be interesting because obviously the Urus S and the Performante came out, and they were kind of just a very, very light facelift of the current
A bit
car.
like the G-Wagon, what's going on.
A bit like the G-Wagon. But the new Urus is a new Urus.
Yes.
It's broadly the same shape, but it's
Lights are
completely
different,
different.
The
It's
lights are quite
completely.
different
It looks
as well.
completely
Are they?
different.
I've
only
that
seen tests.
camouflage.
Yeah,
Yeah.
camouflage.
But the lights, you can see the lights are different headlights.
There's also a few other new cars which we're probably never going to sell, but I will mention them anyway, because we've spoken about the Land Rover Defender, and we sell a lot of Defenders, and this came from the same ilk of car many, many years ago, the Toyota Land Cruiser. We've never sold one.
Please don't
We
ask
never
me,
will
Cliff, or
sell
Matt,
one.
a question about that.
Land Cruiser.
No.
The last time I saw one of them was 94.
Yeah. No, but they were invented at the same sort of time that the Defender was, the same sort of time as the Jeep was. So they're old school classic cars that have had a comeback.
Yeah.
And this is, anyway, I'll put it on the screen if anyone's interested. I think it looks quite cool. It looks like a toy car.
I'm sure me and Cliff would have seen it for the first time.
You'll
We'll put it on
be
the
seeing
screen.
it on the first
exactly
time. It looks like a toy car.
Exactly the same
But
thing.
there's a Aston Martin DBS replacement coming, which kind of looks like every other Aston Martin.
Great looking cars, difficult to sell.
This will have the
Do
new
money,
interior,
Do a
no
lot of
doubt.
money.
do a lot. of
They
money.
do a lot of money.
You know, in the old days, you used to go and get 40, 50 grand off of them. They were worth buying. Nowadays,
Yeah.
I don't want to go and sell one to a customer because
He'll come back
it's
to
going to
you
blow their
and go,
bollocks.
why
They're
have I
going to be
lost so
screaming
much?
at me. Yeah, so
Yeah.
fantastic car probably, but unless they have a complete rebuild.
Oh, they've got to sort their interiors out.
Well, I
they've
think
done
they
that.
have.
They've done that.
So, yeah. BMW M5 Touring, which I am convinced will be the coolest car in the world when it gets here. You two aren't really interested in cool cars.
Listen, M5 Touring,
Unbelievable.
if there's no RS6,
Yes.
Unbelievable.
I
car.
don't think sounds like a bad car to me.
No.
No.
That might be something we sell.
I mean, we were discussing
hope so.
yesterday, weren't we, about our
BMWs.
contacts with BMW.
I think it's
Yeah.
one thing to
The
say,
X5 looks a cool car.
you know,
the X7.
we sit here talking about all these cars and whatever, and I think it's really important to state, and I think you're probably going to come onto this. On our Instagram, every day you'll push our stock. What's here? What's here? What's here? 90%, 85% of what we sell, we source. Yeah. We can
Yes.
find you any car on the planet, whether it's here, Japan, America.
I mean, this week's
Yeah.
a good
Uzbekistan.
example. We've
Yeah.
done 8 cars.
Yeah,
How many of them have we actually sourced?
I think 2 are from the showroom, 6
Yeah.
we sourced.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I kind of want to change our message on Instagram a bit about we've got this available, we can actually find you anything. Test us, run us, go in those DMs, ask us to find you something, even if you've got a quote from your local dealer, see how we do.
Well, and actually, whilst you're saying that, we had someone, this was a couple of months ago now, but what was it? They wanted a Bugatti Chiron that was one of 13 in the world, a special model, and we found one. So
We did indeed.
there's a case in point.
And we got all the way to when they had to pay for it.
Yes.
That's when it fell down.
And that's when it fell down.
Exactly, yeah. So unfortunately, no one was making any money out of that.
No,
but
we found
did
the car,
work.
sourced the car, proper.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't think a lot of people know the type of contacts we have within a lot of the main manufacturors.
And all around the
Yeah.
world, whether it's America even.
Yeah.
Wheels and all that stuff.
Yeah,
No one realises we pull a lot of stuff into the
Cadillac,
US.
Escalades,
All the American stuff. Cars in Europe, left-hand drive, we can get you them. Anything.
Hummer, EV. We've sold a Hummer EV.
Yeah, we have. Waiting for that, end of the month. One thing, we've got now, we've been going 20 years, we can ring anyone up and was like, oh yeah, we know you are. We're taken seriously, we can get anyone a deal on anything.
Yeah.
Opens a lot of doors.
Apart from Mercedes.
Yeah, apart from Mercedes.
Mercedes and their wonderful agency.
Yeah. So, what's the current state of the market looking like?
Oh.
It's been quiet. Let's
Shit.
not shy away
Shit.
from it.
Yeah,
it
it's
has
been
been quiet.
Do
It's been
you know
quiet
what?
all
It's
over
one
the
of the
place.
most difficult times. It was like this in 2008 to be in the car game because all we can ever do is follow the market. If values go up, great. If they go down, they go down. Now there was people, players, whatever that had cars with us post COVID. We were selling them about 30 grand equity and all this shit. Now it's just gone the other way,
Yeah.
where
Very
it's
quickly.
painful. But we can't help that. We can only maximise your return in here.
Yeah.
But it's a buyer's market at the moment. The market's been hard, but I think. What do you think? I think it's coming back a little
I
bit.
think it's coming back, but also you've got to bear in mind it's a bit like the housing market. What you lose on the swings, you can gain on the roundabouts. So yeah, if you're selling a car and you're losing a few quid,
Plumber court.
and you're losing a few quid, you can still go out there and get yourself
Absolutely
a great
right.
deal on your next car.
Absolutely right.
So that's the way you've also got to look at it.
What you're
Do you
losing,
know
you're
what I mean?
gaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I think in here, it's a different market. You speak to other car dealers that deal.
We're
in,
not your conventional motor dealer.
that
no,
deal
no.
in sort of lower end stuff, and they're really struggling out
I think
there.
our problem's been more trying to get footballers interested into cars which are new.
Yeah.
They love the Range Rover, but they couldn't get insured.
That's been the
But
problem
then,
for us.
and that then goes back to the new Urus Hybrid coming out.
Yeah.
Obviously the change up slightly with the G-Wagon.
Yeah.
There are new models coming out that are a bit more
Pure
exciting.
Sang,
things
those
knocking
sort of
Yes,
cars.
Pure Sang.
That's what you wanted to talk about.
Yeah, we had a Pure.
We've
we
got
sold
a Pure
we,
Sang.
we sold a Pure Sang, and we've got a Pure Sang.
We sold Pure Sang we couldn't talk about, and we've got
Yes.
another one we probably can't talk about.
Yeah, so we're not talking about that.
So we're not going to talk about the
for
Pure
us,
Sang.
We hate people.
Yeah, so.
Put that back in your diary, Dr. Evil.
But again,
Don't
that's to the
talk.
point. So much goes out of this place that people don't even see.
Yes, that's very true. There's a
Because of the
lot
way
of
the world
cars
is.
that we sell, and it's a hard one to explain without getting into hot bother.
Let's not do that.
But there are manufacturers out there that do not allow other people that aren't them to sell their cars. And if anyone does, then they're in trouble. So
Well,
that's
always
why
play
we
by
can't
the
post
rules.
everything.
Let's just state that. We'll play by the rules, but
Yeah,
we can sometimes be involved in a deal.
yeah.
And
That's
we
correct.
just don't
We have
shout
to be.
about it because can't be bothered.
Yeah,
For
can't be
the- for
bothered with
any
the ag.
haggle,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
But no, I think the back end of this year is still going to be tough. I think the whole year is going to be tough, but I think it's tough throughout. But hopefully, if people are realistic and know what's going on in the world, it's easier conversations than it is when they're like,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I think
Cars lose money
we'll encourage people to get insurance quotes on Range Rovers.
before they even ring for one.
Well, before they even ring for one, but even if you're just curious about is that hype still there of 20 grand a year insurance?
They came out, they're all over lists, they were too much money. They're now come right down, it's a good time to buy one. It's as simple as that.
They're the right money.
Yeah.
They're the right money. You look at a car, they're the right
For
money.
what you're getting for 80 grand compared to what most cars are, we quote cars all day at 400 grand,
Yeah.
500 grand,
Yeah.
300 grand. All of a sudden, an 100 grand Range Rover seems really good value for money. I know that sounds a bit
And they're great cars.
You know, if you're in that
Aren't
world,
they? They're great cars.
Yeah,
Full
they are
size
great
Range
car.
Rover in particular.
full-size
Bloody good
one,
looking
yes,
car.
fantastic car.
It's a really cool
Comfortable.
car. Hey, now here's the thing. Whilst we're talking about the full-size Range Rover, later this year, now this is going to split a few opinions. There's a full electric one coming.
Is there now?
Yes. Now the hybrid one is brilliant.
Yeah, it's yeah.
So you would imagine the electric one is just going to be the same, but it can go
Electric.
further.
And the hybrid Range Rover has been absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting when that comes out. It probably won't go very far because it'll weigh 4 tons, but it will have a
New Cullinan
massive
coming
battery.
Yes.
Worth a shout.
New Cullinan
Definitely worth a shout.
hybrid.
I don't know.
I
your
think it
research,
might
Mark?
be. I think
Yeah,
it might be.
hybrid.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's quite exciting.
Yeah. There
And
are bits
listen, it's been raining for 387 days. Rain, grey. The sun is coming. Feel good. Buy a car.
Well, let's leave it at that, shall we? It's always nice to leave it on a
I'm like the guy
bombshell.
off Instagram.
Point.
And just to finish off, don't forget to subscribe to us on Instagram. That's Premier Sports UK. Search for us and follow on Spotify. So that's Premier Talk on Spotify, the name of the show. And Premier Sports _UK on YouTube. We'll see you next time.